All right. Porn is cheating. Change my mind. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach, here to talk about pornography and relationships. The question always is, at least we start with this question, is porn cheating? Do you think that pornography, specifically in the context of a committed relationship, is it cheating? So, if you want to come on, share your story, share your opinion, go ahead and it's over there. Request, you can come on here. You can argue with me, you can debate with me, you can tell me why I'm wrong, you can tell me about how you just found out your partner's been watching porn and you don't know what to do. Maybe you're a person, let's say a man, who's struggling with porn and you want to stop. Well, I can help with that too. I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men who are dealing with unwanted sexual behavior as well as women who are dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in any of that, you can go to the link in my bio and learn more. Hi there, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. What's up?
Well, I need some advice, please. So I found out 6 months ago that my husband, God, I feel like I'm airing my dirty laundry out here, has been going on OnlyFans and paying to watch, like, obviously explicit content. Like, do you think he'll he's told me he won't do it again, but it's always going to be there, isn't it? I don't know what to do because it's driving me mad.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that you're in that situation. I hear you got little kids in the background as well.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah. Do I think he's just going to stop because he said he's going to stop? Well, what I think is irrelevant, but here's what the studies and the research suggests that a person, we'll say a man struggling with a pornography addiction, stopping the behavior within 6 months is pretty much not going to happen without professional help. Okay, so or differently put, the odds of
What kind of
relapse.
professional help? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm talking at you.
No,
What
that's
do you
fine.
mean, like professional help? Do you mean like a coach, or do you mean like a professional in like the NHS, for example?
Well, it can be a lot of things, right? It can be a coach, a counselor, a therapist, a recovery group, a support group. It can be educating yourself through books and resources and other content, though that's going to be pretty limited. But doing something about it. A man who has a plan to accomplish, a man who wants to accomplish something always has a plan. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this question. How many times have you found out that he's been doing this and he's claimed he's going to stop and he hasn't stopped?
I mean, we've been together, what, 8 years? And like it started off just with like generic porn, and then obviously as OnlyFans got bigger, that's when I found out. Because I mean, there's a lot to the story, like gambling and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, so he's
I
already
don't know.
escalated his behavior from just generic porn to now OnlyFans. Porn use always escalates. It always escalates into something else. It may escalate into physical cheating, though it doesn't always. But in this case, it's escalated into using OnlyFans. So there will be another escalation, would be my assertion to you. I don't know what that'll be, but I'm assuming, has he said in the past, whether it's just generic porn or anything else, that he's going to stop? Oh, and she's gone. So again, can they stop? Maybe, but is it likely that somebody's going to stop without any type of external help? Probably not. I'd bet on it. So I'm sorry you're going through that. Link in my bio if you want to chat more. Some of these comments are great. Hey there, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing. You want to say anything else?
No.
No? Okay. All right. No problem, Al. If you want to come back on here, I'll bring you back on. I love that previous guest. Yeah. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's up?
Good, man. I'm good. So, I want to preface this with a small story about when I was 17 and I had my girlfriend of 3 years. She had this really weird habit of whenever she would go on my phone, she would like close all the tabs. Not sure if any fellas know where this is going, but The long story short is one day she was closing all these tabs and she saw Pornhub right there. And for being a 17-year-old kid who wasn't intimate with her because we were still very young, she like threw the phone and got super upset. And she kind of felt like she was being cheated on, but she understood because me and her weren't intimate like that, you know. 'Cause again, we were very young. She wanted to take it slow, and I was totally okay with that. So I resorted to what I knew best, and that was, you know, the orange and black. So is porn cheating? I say no. Can it be destructive to your relationship? Yeah. But I think there's people who can make a pretty good case as to why porn is cheating because if you were to get a nude from some girl you know, because you asked for it, I'd consider that cheating. You know, that's
That's what you're doing when you're going to the hub.
exactly. But whether or not I know that girl, what difference does that make to my girlfriend who feels betrayed? So I can understand both sides of the story. But no one talks about the guy who's actually watching porn in these situations. Maybe they're dealing with an addiction. Not saying that I am, but maybe they're not seeking out porn as a way to cheat or have an affair, like sort of relationship with whoever it is they keep searching up online. Maybe it's just because they want to pleasure themselves, and that's the bottom line. I think it can be that simple that sometimes, you know, as a guy, you just want one thing and it's convenient and it's there and you don't mean no wrong to your partner, but obviously you can't control how they might feel about it. So I'm guessing your stance is that it is cheating.
Well, you said it's cheating. You said if you're soliciting images of other people, you came to the conclusion that it is cheating.
I think, well, let's define what's your definition of cheating. So my definition of cheating
Going
is
against the agreed upon rules.
the agreed upon rules. Okay. And are these agreed upon rules, they're different amongst each relationship, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yes, they are.
Okay, so in terms of your agreed upon rules, the standards at which you would date a woman by and that you would stick to when you're in a relationship with her, those include not watching porn, no viewing of any other person, you know, sexually or anything like that. So I guess by your standards, yes, of course it's cheating, but that's because it's your standard. I know a couple girls who don't care if their boyfriends watch porn,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't consider it cheating.
Yeah, I got that. What do you think would be the default understanding in a relationship that one another that it's acceptable for each person to use other people for their sexual pleasure or not? What do you think is the default understanding?
It's definitely you're definitely on the right page there with that being the default understanding that you're not supposed to
Yeah.
you know, engage
Yeah.
in that type of stuff, whether it's over the internet or in person. But yeah,
Yeah, so I would agree. Culturally, at least here, I'm assuming you're in the United States,
Right.
there's a cultural understanding that we're not going to use other people for our sexual pleasure, but then many people do and hide it, which is why it feels like cheating because it is. Now, then you can bring the question, well, maybe it should be explicitly discussed, which I agree it should. Is pornography acceptable or not? But it isn't oftentimes until it's discovered, like it was in your case, and now it's an issue, right?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I just finished watching porn like probably 10 minutes ago, and I feel terrible. But that doesn't make me want to stop.
Why do you feel terrible?
I don't know, because I have like women are not scarce to me. I do have access and I have good relationships, but it's just something you I don't know if it's from discovering at a young age or just being very amped up. It's just convenient. I guess reflecting after what I've done makes me feel like, man, I didn't need to do that. Now I'm just tired and I feel like I've already accomplished something when I really didn't. I just
Yeah.
pressed a button, got a reward.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being honest about that, right? And typically that's a shame response. It's like I feel shame that I just used somebody on a screen for my sexual pleasure, looking for something, but feeling empty afterwards. And that's usually why that feeling onsets of feeling bad about it or feeling guilty about it is shameful. Right? How old are you?
Right. I'm 23.
Okay. All right. How long have you been watching porn?
Probably since I was like, fuck, man, like 14. But,
Hmm.
I think it definitely didn't become a weekly thing until I was about 18. And honestly, throughout this whole time, I've had relationships, like all throughout that time. I've had girlfriends.
Hmm.
And it really hasn't hindered those relationships, or maybe I'm blinded by what I'm being affected by. Maybe I don't know how it's affecting me. But from what I can tell, my experience, my relationships haven't been that hindered. Sure, my girlfriend was mad in that one story, but we both got over that together, and um,
So you're not
we were
together
able to
anymore?
move forward. No, no, we that was when I was very young. We broke up like 6 years ago, and
Okay.
she's happily in a relationship now. But I'm honestly not here to debate because I
Yeah,
can
that's fine.
agree that porn is cheating. I
Yeah.
want I'm a lot of my friends, including me. It's it's a subject that we're totally okay with talking to each other at like at dinner or something. We'll talk about like, oh yeah, I've been on a tear lately and whatnot. But we do that acknowledging that it's bad for us, that we wish
Hmm.
we didn't want to do that. But there's just something so sweet and enticing, and it's accessible, and it's almost as easy to grab as like a piece of candy at the store. But could you tell me why it's so important to quit that?
Hmm.
Because right
Yeah,
now I really don't seem like something's wrong. It doesn't feel like there's that much wrong with it.
totally. And yeah, man, thanks for sharing. What's up, D? Happy birthday, man. Yeah, good questions, man. Right? I thought the same thing too until I turned 32 years old and I was married with 3 kids, and I realized, oh man, this is ruining my life. I didn't think it was that big of a problem up until then. So I love that you're asking those questions. You mentioned going out and buying candy. There's this analogy I use, so it's perfect for this scenario. If you were to eat a strawberry, like a nice red, plump, juicy strawberry, it tastes so good, right? Assuming you like strawberries. Do you like strawberries?
Love them.
Yeah, so a nice fresh strawberry is just delicious, right? If you were to eat 5 Snickers bars and then eat a strawberry, the strawberry kind of tastes like shit, right? Because
Yeah.
your mouth is just warped by all the synthetic chemicals and things in the Snickers bar. It's fake. It's not real sugar. It's not real pleasure. It's hitting your taste buds in a fake, synthetic way. So that when you go back to the real strawberry, it's like it just tastes terrible. The same is true with porn. Porn being the Snickers bar, real sex being the strawberry. Once you've had too many Snickers bars, real intimacy, it's like, what is this? It seems foreign at that point. So what I would assert to you is that the porn, the Snickers bars, are ruining your taste buds for true authentic intimacy in a relationship. And now again, if you're just eating Snickers bars and potato chips all day long, you may not even realize it. It's like, yeah, this is good. This feels good. This tastes good. This satisfies my appetite. So we think. But we always need to be going back for more to feel satisfied.
Right.
So using that analogy, that's where I'd say you're not even experiencing what real sex and intimacy is because it's being perverted with a synthetic version of it. Does that
So
make sense?
yes, it totally does, and I really appreciate that analogy. Would you say that um, porn is always going to do? It's always going to have a negative impact on an intimate relationship if it's the man watching it. I'm assuming we're talking about the men in a sexual relationship watching porn. Is that always going to affect the relationship badly? Can there coexist a man who watches porn and his girlfriend or whatever who is still intimate with him? Or is there a case to be made for people who think they can balance porn and intimacy? Because I'll be honest, I feel like, and this might be my own ego saying this, I feel like I've had a good balance, but I can start to feel myself not crave sex as much from my girlfriend, and I just feel like I can just stay home and get the pleasure that way. Or
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
be horny. I'm sure I'll be horny next week to the point where I want to do that.
Right. Yeah. And so again, the problem is that you're by using porn, and I'm talking to you, but the general you're getting further away from creating real intimacy. Right. So you may think it's serving a need, satisfying a need in the moment, which maybe it is, but you're getting farther apart from actual intimacy and connection with your partner. Do I think it can coexist in a relationship? I don't. I've never seen it work that way, and take it with a grain of salt, because I work to help people who have been negatively affected by porn, or at least claim that they have been. And I've talked to a lot of people who thought it was helping them for a while, and then afterwards are like, yeah, this was actually destroying our relationship. But here's why. Because when we're watching pornography, again, it's not real sex, it's not real intimacy. We're reducing a person down to just their sexual value and then
Right.
using them for that only. So we're
Right.
training our brain, we're training our mind to reduce people to just sexual objects for our pleasure. And I believe that how you do one thing is how you do everything.
I do
So
too.
if you're doing that in the privacy of your own room in secret, you're going to do that out in public as well. You're going to have a tendency to reduce your partner down to just a sexual object for your sexual pleasure. So the question is, how much do you want to be about reducing people down to just their sexual value for your selfish pleasure versus treating people as whole beings who should have dignity, honor, and respect?
Right. So, do you think those two things are mutually exclusive? And I'll be clear on what those two things are: having dignity, honor, and respect for people, as well as also being able to view them as sexual objects. Do you think those two can coexist, or are they mutually exclusive?
Well, I think the better question is, should we strive to treat people with dignity, honor, and respect more of the time? And if the answer is yes, then the porn's got to go, because that's
The answer,
intentionally reducing people down to sexual objects.
the answer is yes, and I think you're correct about that. But I think we should explore the avenue that is that these people put themselves online for that very
And that's totally
what's the
separate from your decision to go treat them as sexual objects. That's a whole another
abs-
conversation.
absolutely, because they put themselves out to be treated by that. It doesn't make me any more right in treating them like that. It's like, why would
Exactly.
I? Obviously, they
Yeah.
know that themselves. It doesn't serve a purpose. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we've made some really good progress. What's something I could tell some of my friends who get sex regularly but also indulge in porn?
Are these friends non-married?
Non-married, we're all 23, 24, single, and we just want to fuck about, man. Like that's really
Yeah.
what
Well,
we're
my
what we're
encouragement to
facing.
you and them would be to just, again, put porn aside. Just look at and I'll say the negative impacts of fornication. You can laugh at that word, outside of marriage, right? When we're making these connections to a bunch of other people, maybe it's a handful, maybe it's dozens, maybe it's hundreds, we're impairing our ability to have a long-term relationship down the road. It gets harder to connect. So again, I would encourage you to broaden it and look at what are your views of sex and sexuality and relationship, and how that contributes to what you're wanting long term.
Right, right, right. And just to address a couple comments, by girlfriends, I mean we don't have like long term. We've had girlfriends, but we always have a few women that we're intimate with. I'm not saying I have a few at a time. I just have one. But what I meant by that is that we are single men that just want to be intimate, but not in a long term relationship type of way. Do you think that craving for just the physical part of intimacy is from porn? Like I don't want. I've been with this girl and we've been having sex for 2 years. We're not dating, and I feel like sometimes she really struggles with the fact that I'm not gonna date her, but she's still gonna have sex with me. And do you think that sprouts from something to do with pornography? Maybe I just want her for that
Well,
reason.
yeah. So here's the thing: is porn's never the issue. Porn's a secondary issue. Generally, it comes down to some sort of childhood trauma or some sort of longing or desire or something that isn't working in life, and you're just satisfying that desire by sex or masturbation, right? So I think there's an underlying conversation here of like, what are you wanting in life? What are you wanting out of a relationship? Because it seems like you're just, I'm going to say, using this girl for sex. There's no long-term plan there. I'm not mad at you for that, but that's what it seems like.
All right, I hope you're not mad at me for that. I mean,
No.
when you put it that way, it's so rash, and it really does sound horrible, and it's a good description of what's going on. But I've been so direct. I mean, this is a separate issue, but side note, I've been like super direct and telling her like, this is all I want. I do not see myself with a long-term partner. If you're here for the ride, so am I. If it gets too hard for you, you should cut me off. I recommend we stop doing this if it gets too hard for you. But she doesn't want to cut it off. But again, that's a whole separate issue besides
Well,
porn.
that is the issue, though. That's you maintaining a power over, excuse me, a power over approach. It's like, I get it, you're saying it. I would imagine that she has this secret hope that it's going to work out and you're going to settle down with her. And she
I
might not
think
be comfortable enough to tell you that.
yeah. Another thing about thank you for that. Another thing about porn is how do you have anything that could cover on how it affects like sexual performance, like erectile dysfunction? I've struggled with some of that before, especially in a new relationship when you've been single for a while and you're just hammering down at night and whenever you're bored. And then you finally, after a few months or a year, you get a girlfriend and it's time to get intimate. And because you've been watching porn for so long during this dry streak of being single, you're having a tough time getting it up. I've noticed, despite having those periods of time where I'm having these like erectile dysfunction symptoms, I will still load up the orange and black at night, knowing that's my issue. It's some sort of like cognitive dissonance thing. And I make mental notes to myself when that happens that I'm doing something that is bad for me, but right now it feels good and I'm just going to continue. How do you combat those moments where you're at the crossroads between what you should do and what you want to do?
Yeah. Yeah, good question, man. And there's a name for that. It's called PIED, porn-induced erectile dysfunction, that is becoming rampant in teenagers and 20-somethings like yourself. So there are, go Google that, PIED, and read more about that.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. But here's the question, man. Again, it all goes back to what are you wanting? It's like you're doing everything you can to not have a committed relationship, and you're just focusing on sex. And I'm not saying that a committed relationship is the answer for you, right? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You've said you don't want that. But the question is this what you want your life to be about? I'm masturbating all the time to the point where my eggplant doesn't even work anymore. And I'm going and telling girls, I don't want to be with you. I just want to use you for sex. And you're selling them on the fact that that's okay. So again, I'm not mad at you, but my question would be, is that what your life is about? Or do you want something different? Might there be a deeper story there, a deeper longing that has to do with love and connection that is buried beneath the surface of all this?
I think you make a really good point. I wouldn't say that's what my life is about, but as far as relationships and sex goes, that's how I see the world. I've been in a couple of relationships, and I don't want to give you some sob story, but I really have. I've changed how I interact with women. I've been in great relationships, long relationships that have changed me for who I am. And after a while, I guess I just stopped wanting something serious so I could focus on more of my career. But because I know how I get when I get in a relationship, I tend to, I don't want to say give too much, but I tend to be the sucker. So ever since I realized that, I've stopped trying to be the sucker, and instead I just be very forward about what I want in a relationship, and that's just the physical part. And I know you're not blaming me for that, or you're not mad at me, but I don't think a lot of people are realizing that. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off track. I have one more question. I'm sorry to be jumping around here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think men seek porn, men who are in relationships, do you think they seek porn because they are unsatisfied in their sex life?
No. Sometimes that could be the presenting reason why they say that, but no, I don't think that that's usually the real reason. Usually it's eroticizing some desire that they actually have, which again, I think in your case, that's what I'm hearing here. We think that porn or sex is the answer, but there's again a deeper underlying longing.
Right. Hey man, I really appreciate this conversation. I think it's really cool that I can just press request and you let me on here. Thank you for all the audience, for all your input. And thank you again. I hope you bring on the next guest because I've been talking way too much and exposing myself way too much.
All right, man. Thanks for sharing. Good chatting.
Thank you. Good chatting.
See ya. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction and women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in joining one of my support groups for one or the other, feel free to schedule a call using the link in my bio, and I'd be happy to chat. All right, who's next? Aaron Lee, you've been waiting a while. Let me find your name. Oh, they just move around. There you go. No takers. Austin, in 13 days, me and my partner celebrate his 1 year being clean. Let's go, Destiny. Destiny's partner, way to go. Okay, that person's not there. Saxon JD. No? Okay. K. I'm going to make my discovery call $1 for this live only. So if you want to schedule a call, do it now. Hey there, what's going on? Nope. Okay. Cassie. Hey there, what's going on? Brooklyn, thank you for the galaxy. Cassie, what's going on? Hi there.
Yeah, so I was with this guy that had an issue with porn, and he told me that he got addicted to it because during his lowest time in his life, it was the only thing that made him feel good. And the thing is, like, he says it doesn't affect him, but it affects me. He says it doesn't affect his performance, but it affects me. So
Then it does affect him.
Right? That's what I told him. It does affect him. Yes.
So you're with this person?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I just don't know how to just go on about it in future relationships, because I know it's something that for sure affects me. It's something that I don't want my partner doing, but it's just something so common that it's just I start to question if I don't know if because they told me I should be okay with it, but I really don't think I should be.
Yeah. Okay, then is it something you're willing to put up with in a relationship?
I feel like I tried and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. So what can you do in the future then?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck.
Okay. Do you know anything about boundaries?
Yeah, that was my boundary. That from the beginning, I mentioned it. I always mention my boundaries right at the beginning, and well, clearly he didn't respect it. And
Well, a boundary is when we declare an action that we will take if a request that we make is not honored. A boundary has nothing to do about changing another person's behavior. A boundary is about declaring our behavior if something else happens. So a boundary is not, you need to not watch porn. A boundary is, and I'm going to make this clear and simple for the sake of example. I'm not saying this is a good one, but a boundary is, I'm asking that you don't watch porn, and if I find out you are, I'm going to leave the relationship. Right?
Right.
So a boundary is all about your action, not their action.
Yeah, and which is what I told him, which is why I gave him a chance, and then I told him, well, if you can't leave it, I'm gonna have to leave you, because I can't put up with it. I did try because I'm sorry, I have to go. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for the conversation.
All right. Bye bye. Betrayal trauma. Betrayal trauma is a thing. Anon1234, you want to come on here and chat? Love to chat. Self improvement is masturbation. Wow.
Hi.
Hey there, what's going on?
I definitely think porn is cheating, and I know that it's like controversial. A lot of people have differing opinions. But from my perspective, I think lusting over someone else while in a relationship and like acting on that kind of feeling, I find like some kind of betrayal. And especially with like the kinds of porn that people watch. Like there's been a really big increase in young men and like violence during sex because of like porn. So I think there's a lot of issues that come with it, but I definitely think it's cheating.
Yeah, up to 88% of porn scenes depict acts of physical aggression or violence. And so,
Yeah,
we wonder
and
why
like,
people do certain things.
and that's the thing. Like even with like things like, even as I'll use vanilla as like a really loose term. But things like choking and stuff in bed, like even things like that, there have been deaths that have been caused by that because people see it in porn and they're like, oh, like can I choke you? But they don't know how to do it, and then someone ends up getting really hurt. So I think
Yeah.
it has a lot of issues that surround it.
Yeah, totally. Have you been in a relationship where it's affected you?
Oh, 100%. Multiple. And I think it's mainly because it's so normalized that, like, porn is just something everybody watches, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think, especially in, like, such a progressive society, again, very loose term, but with, like, how far we've come, like, I feel like while you're in some kind of relationship or partnership where, like, you are to some degree exclusive, watching porn and like masturbating or something to other people, like that's unfaithful.
I agree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've agreed to be faithful to one person and you're masturbating to another person on a screen, seems like you're going against it.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
like if my boyfriend saw me like even on another guy's Instagram, like that's unfaithful, right? Like liking someone's pictures, that's unfaithful. But then they don't think it's unfaithful to be literally beating their meat to some random like porn woman.
Porn women, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not doing great with words today.
No, you're fine. You're doing fine. All right, well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Hannah. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, I have a quick question. I used to work as a therapist. You're saying a lot of the good buzzwords, but you're not actually describing them. Like, is porn cheating? Well, depends on your partnership. If your partner says it's not, then it's not. If she says it is, then you have to respect her wishes. It's about boundaries. You can't just say, "Oh, it's cheating for everyone." That's disingenuous.
I haven't said that.
Yes, you have. I've been
No, I
in this
haven't.
life this whole time, man. Yeah, you have.
You're not listening. The very first.
I'm not.
the-
Oh,
the-
I'm not
the
listening.
first-
So the words that are coming out of your mouth aren't the words you mean. Maybe you should use better words as descriptors so people can't misconstrue what you're trying to say. Just a genius thought. And also, maybe, just maybe, you should have a few adults, like actual adults above 21, in your life having discussions about, adult relationships. It's just kind of weird that, everyone you've had in your life has been kind of young, and you're older, I'm older, and if I found my son on your life, I would get very mad. Just to give you an idea. Because I can almost guarantee you're speaking from a religious perspective and not an actual psychoanalytical perspective.
What else do you want to say?
Do you have a response for any of that?
Well, I tried,
kind of made-
and I
Well, no,
made the claim you weren't
didn't-
listening, and then you talked for 3 minutes.
That wasn't 3 minutes. It was actually a minute. But do you have a response? Because what I said is kind of important that you address that. I literally just said you've been talking to minors and giving inappropriate advice that's religiously based, not psychologically. So do you have any psychological evidence that porn is cheating? Do you have any psychological evidence that you have the knowledge to be informing kids like this? So go ahead, give us the evidence.
First of all, I'll go back to the claims you're making.
No,
are not
I said
true.
give us the evidence. I didn't say tell me something else.
Okay.
Give us
So,
proof that you should
here's the
be
thing.
doing this live. Give us the proof, bud. Give us the proof.
It
I'm
seems
waiting.
as though you're not actually wanting to engage in a conversation. So then we can't have one. No problem. I'm happy to chat, but you're proving that you're not actually here for a conversation. At least the first two guests, we started by defining with the question, is porn cheating, which is a conversation starter, taking it to the next logical step of, which my assertion is it depends on what the agreement is in the relationship. I do this for at least 20 hours a week on live, and I always go back to that same thing. If you don't have a commitment of monogamy in your relationship, then it wouldn't be cheating. That's it. Every conversation I have bases on that. Go back and watch the tape. Go to my YouTube, rewatch it. Okay? And then secondly, you're not actually here for a conversation. I'll leave my opinions about what's going on with you aside, because that's not what I'm here for. So thank you for sharing your opinion. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Good, what's up?
Nothing. Oh, I just got so mad at that guy saying that to you. You have no
Don't let
idea.
it bother you.
I'm 63 years old. I've talked to many urologists because I'm a nurse, and they said they've never had more 20-year-olds with erectile dysfunction due to porn until now.
Yeah.
That they start at 14. I'm married almost 40 years, and I am ready to leave my husband because he can't stay off TikTok, porn sites, and last week I found 2 dating apps on his phone. So it's gone from looking at TikTok girls and liking them, watching porn. I caught him watching porn about 5 years ago. We used to watch it together. We had a very, very healthy sex life, and now it's extremely unhealthy. And I'm ready to leave my family over it. Well, break up my family, which I don't want to do. But we don't even have a sex life anymore because he
I'm sorry to
watches
hear that.
porn every day. It sucks really bad.
Yeah. How long's that been going on for?
As long, who knows? Like I caught him. It was actually I work nights because I'm a nurse. I work nights. He works days. It was our anniversary. I said, "Come on, let's go do something before I go to work." He said, "It's fine. We'll wait to the weekend." And 11:02, which is I at work at 11, he went on and watched porn instead of being with me. And that's when I kind of found out. Now I'm aware of it. But let me tell you something. It absolutely is cheating. We do not have sex anymore. It has ruined our sex life completely, which was very healthy before for 35 years. I'm devastated over it. I tell everybody, don't even start that crap because it'll ruin the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And he denies it. Worst part is he said it's not true.
Oh, he denies that it's even happening at all?
Yes, he denies it's even happening. He said, I put the dating apps on his phone. I am in counseling by myself, marriage counseling alone, because he said I need to fix me first because he doesn't think there's anything. And listen, like I said, we used to watch porn together. I think that's okay to do that. But now he's to watching porn by himself.
How long did you guys
Undeniable.
watch it together for?
35 years, 30 years. We had a healthy, good sex life, and now it's non-existent. Yep. And I'm gonna leave, and that stinks because I thought this was my second marriage, and I said, good, I'm done forever. I don't have to date ever again because the dating world is terrible. And I said, I don't have to date ever again. I'm happy. I'm good. Now I'm not happy, and it's not good. Like, I'm starting to hate his guts, and he's the father of my children. And I don't want to hate him, but I'm starting to because I resent your lying to my face.
Yeah.
The lying bothers me as well.
Yeah.
And I have the proof, like right in front of me. And he's like, that's not my TikTok account. And I said, and it's on his phone. And he still lies to me. The dating apps.
What's the guidance you're getting? What's the guidance you're getting from your counselor?
Leave by December. Leave at Christmas time because I have a grandson that I have custody of. And he's 13, almost 14. And she said, Amy, he's kind of, good enough to be by himself, like not really need you per se anymore. I have a house in Florida. We live in New Jersey. I have my own home in Florida. And she told me you need to run as best as you can and make a deadline. Our deadline would be Christmas. So after the holidays, she's like, you need to go because he's never going to change. He calls my counselor an idiot, stupid. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. But
Is he there right now? Can we get him on?
no, he's not here. He's at work. He'd be mortified if he knew I was talking to you about this.
Well, I'm sorry you're going through that. Is that something you're willing to do? Are you going to leave him?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep, I am. Because he's not, first of all, he doesn't even acknowledge he does it.
Yeah.
So even if we go to counseling together, he's going to deny he does it and say I'm crazy. That's exactly what he does. He's also a little bit of a narcissist. So I'm crazy. And, you don't know what I do all day. I know exactly what you do. I know what you do at lunchtime. First of all, I'm in charge of the phones. The phones are in my name. So I know exactly what he's doing. And now that he's meeting sites to me, now it's going a step further. My counselor said it would escalate. I heard you talk about escalating before. And it has escalated. It went from porn, TikTok girls to porn. You probably always watch porn anyway. But porn to TikTok girls. Now he's going to dating sites, which means you're actually looking to meet somebody. So it is escalating. If he won't even admit what he's doing, like watching porn and doing this, I actually talked to one of his girls that he followed and constantly followed. She lives about an hour away from me, and she talks to me, and she unfollowed my husband and blocked him. Like, she talked to me, and now I'm giving her like help about her social life. I can't even believe I'm doing that. I'm a nurse, and it's what I do. And she's like, I'm heavy and I feel bad about myself and blah, blah, blah. And I guess she goes on and puts pictures of herself up so that she can get likes and whatnot. I told her, you need to learn to love yourself and find yourself a real nice guy that will appreciate you for what you are.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You said you guys watched porn for like your whole marriage together. I'm curious why you guys did that.
Just, I guess, for something to do together, and then we'd have sex afterwards. I found it to be okay. Like, I wasn't really bothered by it because we did it together. And that was kind of the thing. We'll do it together. If he thought I was watching porn at home right now without him, he'd be angry. I can tell you that. Yes, he would. But he's a narcissist, so he doesn't expect to be treated different than he treats me. Maybe watching porn together was a mistake. I just thought if it was something that you both did and you were both okay with it, then it would be okay.
Do you think it helped you guys or drew you farther apart if you just take an honest look at your marriage?
I don't think it hurt us. No, I think we had like I said, I I've been with them 40 years. We were happy for 34 of them. Now, my counselor tells me that I survived cancer and a stroke. I had it at a young age. And she's like, I think he's like afraid he's going to get stuck with all the stuff that I do, because not only do I work full time, but I also take care of a home, my grandson, the house, the laundry. He's never washed a dish in his life. And I've worked full time our whole marriage. But he said that's why he's acting the way he is, but I don't really care. There's no excuse for doing that. No cheating. My only thing is everything else we can work through. No cheating. I can't forget it. I know that would be the bottom line. I can't forgive you. It's over. I will think about it every time we fight, and it'll just never go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I recommend a book to you?
Cheated? Sure.
I'd recommend this book, The Betrayal Bind, to you and anybody going through betrayal trauma, by Michelle Mays. Fantastic book to navigate through betrayal trauma, kind of exploring it from a scientific standpoint and what the research suggests with psychology, what we know from psychology, and then what to do next. So with you potentially, on the heels of moving across the country and starting a new life, I mean, there's going to be a lot of change for you, a lot to grieve, and a lot to step into as you're moving into something new. So that I know you're working with a counselor, which is great. And if you haven't heard of that book, I would for sure recommend that one for you. So
it's called Trauma. What is it called?
The Betrayal Bind.
The Betrayal Bind. I got to write this down.
Yeah.
The Betrayal Bind. Okay.
It's a good one. Well, thanks for sharing. I'm sorry you're going through that, Amy.
You know what? I could just say that, that kid saying, oh, it's all right. It's all right. No, it's not. It's not all right. And in your 20s, and he said he has erectile dysfunction problems already. Well, like I said, I work in a hospital. Many urologists say it's because they watch porn all day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can't imagine at 20 not being able to get an erection because of that. How are you ever going to have a family, a good life? You know what I mean? Like a good sex life, or I don't know. That kid set himself up to fail every relationship he's going to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for sharing. Sorry you're going through that. Good luck to you in Florida.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Danielle, good to see you. AJC Mom, saw you out there. Welcome, everybody. If you guys don't follow me, consider giving me a follow up here if you like my content. If you don't like my content, like the other guy clearly didn't, follow me anyways and come back and argue with me sometime. It really helps the algorithm more than you know. And I'm here for it. If you guys are interested in coaching, I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior as well as women going through betrayal trauma. The groups are led by myself and other contributors, both on the male and female side, and it's a place to be open, intimate, vulnerable with what's going on in your life, and encouraged to move forward into a new direction in your life. Here's some stats on PIED, porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Oh, and you can schedule a call with me using the link in my bio if you'd like. It's $1 for a private 30-minute call. We can talk about your situation. The prevalence of erectile dysfunction in young men has increased from 2 to 5% in 1999 to 20 to 30% in more recent reports. So it's gone up from 2 to 5% in 1999 to 20 to 30% in the last 25 years or so. What else has happened in the last 25 years? Porn is everywhere. We're giving kids porn in their pockets, unfortunately. I don't do that, but a lot of people do. 45% of young men with a porn addiction have reported to have erectile dysfunction. I mean, you stick around and watch my lives, so many guys who are young report having that. In a study of compulsive porn users, 60% reported having ED with real partners. So it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Your eggplant stops working. You wonder why? Well, how much porn do you watch? All right. Who's next? Hey there. What's going on? Hello. Be More Live 3. You're on TikTok talking about porn. Can it cause early finish too? Probably. The Betrayal Bind, yeah, good. You ordered the book, awesome. Unwanted by Jay Stringer is a great book. I'd recommend men start with this one. How Sexual Brokenness Reveals Our Way to Healing. Thanks for the gift, Wendy. That's a cool thing. Appreciate that. Did you request? If you give me a gift, I'll bring you on sooner rather than later. Wendy, you did request. There you go. You see? You make a request, you jump the line. There's 36 people waiting right now. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm okay. I've been watching your lives for about a week and a half or so now, and I happen to just jump in right now when you were talking about the porous-induced ED. That's something that is happening in my marriage as we speak, and it's been a problem. I didn't know this until I caught him using porn. I would say probably 3 years ago, I want to say. And I found out that this has been something that's caused the failures in the last 2 marriages of his, is this problem.
Yeah.
And when I asked him how long he'd been doing it, when I caught him, he didn't lie. I mean, he said 16 years, not 16 years, since he was 16 years old. I mean, he just flat out said, several years it's been a problem. And, for the longest time, I thought it was me. And I went to counseling with him. We did several things to try to work on it. And I still have candid talks to him. I try to do it on a weekly basis, but I try not to run it into the ground. But he claims he's not using it or watching it anymore. But that issue is still very prevalent in our marriage, even utilizing medication for it. So it's a very real problem. And I struggle with it because my needs aren't being met, and I don't know how to support him any other way than what I did with going to counseling, going to the doctors with him, seeing if testosterone was an issue, all those things. And I felt very betrayed. I still feel very betrayed. And people say it's not cheating, but it really is, especially when they're hiding it from you and going to great lengths to try to keep it hidden. And I think my fear is that it could still be going on because he travels for his job. So he's gone for 2 days at a time and stays at a motel for 12 plus hours, each night that he's gone. And I used to check his phone, check his iPad. I don't do that anymore. I don't feel like it's doing me. I think it's doing a disservice. I'd rather talk to him and ask him, hey, have you had the urge to do this? Have you done it? And he says no, but yet there's still this very big issue in our, sexual life.
Yeah.
That's
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married for almost 5 years, together for 8.5.
Okay. And your bio says you have 4 kids. Are those from previous relationships?
Those are not his. Yeah, that's
Got
my. Yeah, he's not the father of them.
Got it. Okay.
So
Has he ever got help for the pornography?
he has not, other than going to counseling with me, he has not. But I think he probably needs to. I just don't know how to encourage him to do so because his schedule is so hard.
Yeah, no. I mean, a man who wants to accomplish something always has a plan. He's finding time to watch porn. He'll find time to not watch porn if he wants to. Right. So here's the thing: is I would encourage you and anybody approach it like this. Like, there's a crack in the foundation of our relationship. Porn is the presenting issue. When one person turns to porn, that means they've turned away from the commitment in the relationship. That's the problem. The porn's not the problem. It is a problem, but it's pointing to an underlying problem. Right? So my invitation for you and anybody else in that or similar situation would be, we need help in our relationship. Don't even make it about the porn. Because oftentimes, the man in this example is going to resist it. Oh, no, it's not a problem. I don't have a problem with porn. Fine. Throw that out. Just get in the room. Right? Let the therapist or the counselor or the coach do their work.
Yeah. Because obviously it's been going on since before our marriage. So it's just been a long term, many, many, many years. I mean, he's 56. So it's been going on for 40 years now?
Yeah, and a 40-year problem, I mean, I don't care what it is, it doesn't go away overnight, and it typically doesn't go away without some sort of help, right?
Right.
The,
I heard you limitedly talk about how you offer some type of coaching that
hmm
are at different times.
Yeah,
I might check that out because I think he would feel more comfortable maybe being with or talking with another man or a group of men or whatever, rather
yeah.
than just me being in there with him.
Yeah, I'd be happy to chat with him. He can schedule a call using the link in my bio for $1. That's just a private, like
Okay.
one-on-one intake call. But I have groups both for men who are dealing with porn or sex addiction or other unwanted sexual behavior, as well as women going through betrayal trauma, and I do one-on-one counseling as well. Here's the thing: is that
Oh,
for somebody
okay.
who's resistant to even get in the room, that can be a tough sell to get them there, right?
Right.
Because they think, oh, I don't have a problem, and even like being in a group needs some convincing to get them there. But oftentimes, once they get there and they can share it, there's just a huge relief, right? Not always, but
Right.
oftentimes. So, the question is, to what lengths will you take to lead him to water? You can't make him drink, though,
All
right?
right.
And
And
whether
it's
it's me
wearing
or
me
somebody
down.
else, yeah, I mean, it is wearing you down, but which is wearing you down more? Like the prospect of living like
I
this for
think
the rest of your life, or trying to improve the situation?
no, I'm afraid that it'll be like this forever and that
Yeah,
nothing's going to change. And
yeah,
if I let it lay and don't bring it up, well, he's surely not going to bring it up. So we
yeah,
just continue almost like we're roommates, and it's just absurd.
yeah,
It's just
yeah. So
absurd.
you
So
have way more power than you think. Not to change him, you can never change somebody else, but to change
right.
yourself and therefore change your situation. When we can't change another person or a situation, we are only able to change ourselves. That's all we can ever do.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, and I'm going to see if I can encourage him at least to schedule a call with you. I am probably going to do so myself,
Yeah, yeah.
just
I'd
for
be happy
my
to
end,
chat.
because I need the help too. So, but I
Yeah,
appreciate what you're doing here. It's definitely a real problem.
yeah. Well, I'm
So,
sorry going through that, and thanks for sharing.
well, thank you so much. Bye bye.
All right, bye bye. Somebody said I'm doing a midday live. I am. I haven't been on since like the Tuesday night of last week. I was going to go on last night, but I was so tired. I want to start doing more stuff during the day. So here we are. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. What did you say about with a man? Oh, a man who wants to accomplish something always has a plan for accomplishing it. A man who wants to get a promotion at work, they've got a plan. Might not be written down, but there's a plan. A man who wants to sneak out at night and watch porn, they have a plan. They're going to wait till you go to bed. They're going to hurry up and put the kids down. They're going to go get gas in their car, and then they're going to watch porn. A man who wants to stop watching porn must have a plan. A man who wants to do anything always has a plan. They're not just going to trip and fall and stop watching porn. Just like they're not going to trip and fall and get a promotion at work. Give me a follow if you guys like my content, or if you don't like my content, follow me anyways. All right, let's try to get a dude on here. Where are the dudes? Oh, these names jump around. Seth Ortiz. That might be a dude. Hey, what's going on, man? Hello. You're on TikTok talking about porn. Nope. Okay. All right, no problem. Not today.
Hi.
Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? I just had a question. How do you get the quality of the camera like that? Are you using like a cell phone camera?
No, I'm using a Sony FX30 on a Windows PC using TikTok Live Studio, which you need 10,000 followers or more to be able to use.
So you're streaming from your computer?
Yeah, using OBS into TikTok Live Studio. But
Oh,
we're not
okay,
here to
gotcha.
talk
Thanks
about
so
that.
much.
We're here to talk about porn.
Sorry about that. Thanks.
All
Have a
right,
good
later,
one.
bro. I'm listening with my wife. I've been sober 10 months and 2 days. I feel like he is still watching. Wait, I don't get it. I'm listening with my wife. I've been sober for 10 months and 2 days. I feel like he is still watching. Oh, you've been sober from something. Porn or something else? But you feel like he's still watching? Well, regardless, whatever somebody's sober from for 10 months, way to go. And you feel like he's still watching. So, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm also confused by what you said. Zaki, no Zaki. All right, we'll just randomly take somebody. You don't have a freedom of speech here. I'm out. That's so interesting. You want to come on? Would you like to exercise your freedom of speech, Jucia? And tell me about how people here don't have freedom of speech? Because that's a fascinating comment. I love freedom of speech. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, come on. Go ahead and request. Freedom of speech doesn't apply to non. Yeah, there's so many. Come on, Josiah. You coming on? There you go. All right. Oh, shoot. These names bounce all around. Oh, my gosh. Hey, sorry, I'm kicking you off. Where's this person? If only you guys could see what I have to deal with trying to accept people by name. The names are just bouncing all over the place. I have ladies with opposing views go at it sometimes. Hey there, what's going on?
Yeah, hey, how are you?
Good. What do you mean by that? That I don't have freedom of speech?
Well, because I was writing about watching porn, and I wrote that a lot of married couples watch porn, and like my message was deleted.
Did you write the word porn in your message?
Yeah.
TikTok doesn't allow that, and they automatically ban it. It has nothing to do with me.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
TikTok
But
policy.
I'm sorry. All right. I saw your TikTok a lot of times, and I saw that you're talking about porn all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, there are a lot of married couples who watch porn for over 20 years, and they're still together. I don't have a problem with that.
Are you talking about your relationship or other people?
Also, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I
You
don't
have a
see a
problem with
problem
that?
there. No, I think
Oh, you don't
when
have a
married
problem with it?
couple, yeah, when married couple decide to do something like that, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's it juices up a little bit the relationship, you know. But I'm talking about married couples, and I don't think that's cheating because both sides decide to do it and they do it together, and that's why I don't think it's cheating. Well, it would be more cheating if somebody would do like, you know, one person would watch and the other didn't know about it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, if one
But when
person's
we
doing it and the other
decide,
person doesn't know about it?
yeah, and when we decide together, I don't think it's a very big problem. I don't think it's cheating because, you know, I don't see jealousy in that. Maybe because when I'm older, when people are older, maybe I'm over 40, I'm 43 years old. And when I was 20, 30 years old, maybe I was more jealous, I think. And then I think that
So,
that was a problem then.
yeah. So are you married?
Yeah.
And you guys watch porn together or separately?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What did you guys say together on your wedding day? Like what commitments did you make to one another?
Well, we didn't have a church wedding. We had a normal wedding. And because my husband used to have a wife before, so we didn't have a church wedding. Well, we committed. We committed mostly that we will always tell the truth to each other. So that's why.
Did you make like
I
an
think there
exclusive
was.
commitment to one another?
Well, yeah, we told each other, like I said, that we're going to tell the truth to each other. Well, you know, I
I,
think the most
I got
problem,
that, but
I
did
think
you
it
make a
was from.
commitment
Okay,
about like how you would love, honor, and respect and protect one another and one another only? Something like that?
yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
But you know, I
And
think you know,
and
and
well,
I
and
can
then
always tell you
so
that.
I
Mhm.
I guess my question is, You're doing that, but you're also using other people for your sexual pleasure?
No, that's just watching. We're not using other people. Of course, we're not,
Well, hold on. Let
going
me
and
clarify then. Let me clarify. In the porn you watch, are there people on the screen having sex?
well, yeah.
Okay. So how is that not using another person for your sexual pleasure?
Because, it's like I think it's just TV. You know what I mean? It's like I don't use it like I use it as a fantasy. It's like just like a fantasy
Yeah, I got it.
to
So
us.
okay, so then back to your marriage commitment. Do you think it's deviating from your marriage agreement to use other people to get aroused and experience sexual pleasure?
When you're for a long time with one person, sometimes you I think it's just like to get the relationship going. It's something that helps, I think.
So in your relationship, it's helpful
Yeah, it
for
helps
you, and
from
I don't care where you land on it, right? Freedom of speech. I don't care where you land, but in your relationship, it's helpful to use another person to get aroused and then engage in sex with your
Well, it's
partner.
not like using another. No, it's not like using another person. It's just it's not like I'm watching and I'm concentrating on another person. It's not like that. I'm just watching
Well,
the act.
hold on.
And
Okay, if you're, what are you looking at then when you're watching the porn?
I think it's just like I'm looking at the methods and the ways they are doing it, and it's like just like you then I'm using those ways and to get my help to
Hold
help
on.
my
The
partner
way you
out.
just tried to say that I made the assertion you're using them, and then the way that you tried to say you're not using them, you literally used the word you're using them. Did you notice
I'm
you just
using
said
the
that?
methods. I'm using the ways, the ways that they are making love. That's it. I'm not like watching only on watching a men's genitalias or something like that. It's not getting me aroused. It's getting the act gets me
Sex.
aroused. Like
So watching
yeah,
using other people, watching them have sex.
yeah.
So
From
here's my
it's
question
like
though. Here's my question though. How does that not go against your commitment of your marriage, which is to only love and honor one another?
I think that the marriage and the truth that we tell to each other and everything that we say, it's the most important thing, and
Do you
not
think your partner is enough for you, and him and
yeah,
only
of
him
course,
for your sexual gratification?
of course,
Then
yes.
why do you
And
bring other people into
that's
it?
why I'm not cheating. I'm not looking after
Eh,
other men. When I'm walking on the streets, I'm not looking at other men. I never
hold
was.
on, hold on. But you look at porn. Is there men in the porn? I guess I should ask.
Yeah,
So you are looking at other men.
but only on TV.
Well, there's still a person.
But I'm not looking not as a man as a man. I'm looking at the act of making love.
I
And I'm
got that.
watching sometimes soft porn. You know what I mean? It's
But
not like
that's
it's not hardcore or anything like that. It's something that it's we are learning from that,
oh, you're
experiencing.
learning from it.
That's what
You're learning from what are you learning?
well, techniques and other things.
You can't figure that out on your own.
Well, of course I can, but it's like a cherry on a pie. When you are married for a very long time and you have a wife for 10, 20, 30 years, when you spice up the relationship, it's not like I would rather watch something like that than me going or my partner going and having sex with another person and cheating, live. You know what I mean? And the weird thing is that I wanted that, not my partner, not my husband. I wanted that,
Hmm.
and I'm a woman, so it's very and it's for most men like they want to watch porn, but no, in my marriage it was otherwise. I wanted because
Okay.
I wanted to spice up the relationship, and he agreed, but it wasn't like right now we don't have something like that he wants to watch something or I want to watch something. When we want together, when it comes it's not every time when it's once a month, once for two months.
Do you think that
do
there's
something
other
like that.
ways to spice it up without watching porn, or do you think that that's
Yeah,
the
of
best way?
course there are. Of course there are. You think, we are not addicted. It's not like addiction. I don't think that porn addicts me or my partner.
Hold on one second. Eden, if you say that one more time, I'm going to ban you. Okay? Nothing drives me nuts more than people begging to come. Okay, you said it again. Sorry, Eden. Block.
And you never watch porn in your life.
I watched porn for about 20 years, and it ruined my marriage. So I stopped.
Really?
Yeah. Porn
Okay,
is
but
fake
what?
intimacy. It's fake sex. It's not real. Sex, at least in my opinion, is a physical act to be enjoyed between two consenting individuals, generally in a bedroom, but not always. Porn
But why
is
did you ruin
fantasy.
your
It's fake.
marriage?
It's not
Yeah,
real.
it is.
It actually gets you further away from real intimacy with another person.
Why did it ruin your marriage? Did you watch together or alone?
I watched it alone because it's taking away from what sex should be, in my opinion. I think sex should be something enjoyed in a committed relationship with your partner, and it just goes it's counterfeit to that.
So
Right?
for
So
20
masturbating
years, you did it.
masturbating to a person on a screen, this is not sex. You got your
No,
eggplant in your
no,
hand and
you
you're
you don't
sitting
do
there.
that. No, you don't
That's
do
that's
that.
not
No.
sex, right?
No, of course not. It's not. I'm not talking about masturbating. No, no, of course not. But tell me one thing. Why did you do it for 20 years? And did your wife find out about it, and she was mad, or were you just like not satisfied with your wife after a
Well,
while?
porn's not the issue. Porn and sex addiction is not a porn and sex problem. It's a how you deal with life problem. So there were underlying issues in my life that I chose to medicate by going and seeking out pleasure in the form of pornography. It's a very effective tool for that in the short term, but like we heard from a couple of guests earlier, it
Yeah.
leaves you feeling emptier and emptier every single time. At least it did for me. And so
Oh
I
my
realized it
gosh.
was a very unhelpful tool to try to make me feel
Yeah.
better. And so I said, and my wife didn't know. She didn't know. It also escalated into physical cheating, and she didn't know. I
Oh.
came to her one day and said, you know what? My life sucks, and I'm sorry. Your life sucks now as a result of this. So I'm done with this.
Oh my
Let's get
God.
help.
Why didn't you talk to her? Why didn't you we know sometimes, it depends on the woman. I know that because some
Well,
women
yeah.
don't like
Well,
that.
no,
And some
it's
are
it's usually rooted
cheating
in
and stuff like
childhood
that.
trauma, right? Childhood trauma where we don't feel like we can come forward with issues, right? And I did.
Mhm.
I did come forward. She never caught me. I did come to her and said, hey, you know what? Here's what I've been doing. I want to be different. And we've restored our marriage. We're still married. It's amazing now. It's beautiful.
Oh,
And it's
that's
so much
great.
better without porn.
Yeah.
Because porn, again, is
Oh,
fake
that's
intimacy.
great.
It's fake sex. So that's just my opinion, though. I'm not asking you to believe it.
Okay, but how did you get there? Because it was like addiction for you, right? For 20 years. So how did you get to this point when you said stop and
Well, I
you
looked at
just
the
could
evidence.
stop?
I looked at the evidence in my life. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you change one thing, you change everything. So in private, I was objectifying other women for my sexual pleasure. And when you do one thing, it permeates everywhere. So I was trained to treat other people like objects for my selfish gain. And I realized that mentality of life was not a good one for me. Maybe it is for you, but I chose not at a point to stop objectifying people and instead treat people or strive to treat people with dignity, honor, and respect. So I try to do that. I'm not perfect at it, but I try to do that. And that orientation in life has been much better for me. So again, porn's not the issue. It's how we're training
Yeah,
ourselves to view other people.
exactly. I know that. And that, and because of that, for you, I think the best thing you did, and you did a very good thing, that you told your wife and you stopped. And because you had those other issues, and for me it's different, and for my husband, because we don't feel this way, and we are not treating people that way, and we are not, and we are
Well, yeah,
treating each
I
other.
hear, hold on. I hear you're saying you're not, but the evidence of what you've suggested you guys do indicates you are, because you're using pornography, which is literally the definition of objectifying other
But
people.
you have every person have different feelings, and like
I
some
got it.
people get
I'm not
addicted
asking you
to
to
other
agree
things.
on my opinion of what you're saying, but that's my
I'm not
opinion.
addicted, yeah, I know, but I'm not addicted to it, and that's a little bit different. But you know what? You are
Yeah, and
I think
whether you're addicted or not, I think the question we should ask ourselves is this a resourceful behavior in our life or not? Right? I'm not
yeah.
saying it is or isn't for you, but I would just invite you to
Okay,
be
okay.
curious
I
about
will
that
tell you
question.
one thing. Okay, I will tell you one thing. My partner had very
Yeah,
big
last thing, and then I'm
issues.
going to move on. Okay.
Yeah, my partner had very big issues with because he had very big problems with intimacy, and it also was a way to help him in some sort of way, and that's why I decided to do this. But you know what? I think I can agree that for some people, porn is bad and it's cheating. And I can agree to that. And from talking to you about it, now I realize that it was a very big issue and problem in your marriage, and you did the best thing. And
Well,
it's not for me.
here would be my encouragement for you. As you said, there's some sort of intimacy issues, and your solution was introducing porn. I would, again, it's not advice. I would just encourage you to ask your question: was that the best way to handle the intimacy issues, or could there be better ways to handle it?
Well, I did
So,
everything. I think. It
did you
wasn't no.
did you
It
guys do
wasn't the
counseling?
solution.
Did you guys do counseling or
Yeah, of
therapy or
course.
anything? Yeah.
Course,
Okay.
of course. It wasn't the only thing that helped. No, no, of
Yeah.
course not. It's not like that helped. No,
Yeah.
it was just a way of I mean, you watched porn for 20 years. I don't know how did you watch it and how did you get it into your brain, because some people get it like like addicted to it and have problems after it, watching it and treating people badly after it and stuff like that. We take it very lightly. You know what I mean? It's maybe some people take it with a different way. But I can agree that for some people, I think porn should be porn is a bad thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think from some way you are right. You did the best thing you could. And I think I finished my whole sentence. What should I about to say? And I'm calling from Poland, so greetings for Poland.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, thanks for
And
sharing.
I
Hey,
will take.
you want
I will.
to refine your statement about free speech now?
Yeah,
Do you feel
of
like you've
course.
been able to exercise free speech here?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So thank you again, and I will think about what you said,
Yeah.
and maybe I will change some things. Maybe from some things I can change and do something different.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for sharing.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Poland. I think that's the first I've heard that. Love that. Nice chatting with you. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior, such as porn or sex addiction, and women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in that, you can go to the link in my bio and schedule a call if you want to chat more privately, not on TikTok. That was a productive conversation. All I can ask, and it's mutual, right, is that we're challenged to think about our beliefs differently. Challenging our beliefs. Notice I'm not saying she's right or wrong, or that I'm right or wrong. But let's just challenge the way we're thinking about things. Oh man, so many guests. Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me already, if you like my content, or not. I don't care. Ricky. I love watching your lives. It makes me a better partner seeing so many perspectives. I love that. Thank you, Cassidy. Can you talk more about betrayal trauma? How did your wife come to fully trust me again? Betrayal trauma is a real thing. Buy the book, The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. Join one of my women's betrayal trauma recovery groups. They're led by myself and other women. Or if you don't join mine, find one on the internet. Mine costs money. If you can't afford it, find another group. Get in community where you can talk about this. How did my wife learn to trust me again? I asked her this the other day before my women's call, because trust, of course, always comes up. And she says, hey, Krista, She said, I learned to trust myself. You got to trust yourself. When you have that gut feeling, that intuition, you got to speak up and be bold and convicted about that. And if there's anything I've learned being married, it's never, ever F with a woman's intuition. It's usually right. And then you got to act on it. So learn to trust yourself. Shannon. Hey there, how's it going? Hello. That's why they recalling the turkeys? What does that mean? Johnny, hey, what's going on? Hello. Hello. Johnny, you're on TikTok talking about porn. Do we like this midday live for my regulars out there? What do we think? I kind of like this time. Thanks for the gift, Jenny. Perfectly imperfect me. Did you request? You gave me a gift. I'll bring you on. No? Okay. No problem. Oh, you did. Hold on. If I can find your name. There we go. Hey there. How's it going?
Hello. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a bit of a unique situation, which I think is going to be kind of proof of what you're saying about the porn being cheating. I've been in my relationship for 18 years, married for 10. Ever since I was 16, I've been with one partner. And together made a mutual decision about 3 years ago where I was going to be a content creator and actually do porn myself.
Mm-hmm.
I succeeded pretty well and it started to pay the bills. We bought a house, we moved away, we have 3 children together, and we've been very successful doing it.
By success, you mean you made a lot of money. Is that right?
Yeah, it's mostly solo content. There is some where he is in it. And it did well, but I started to lose that kind of spark in my eye because I felt objectified. He no longer had to work. He no longer had to provide for the family. And he took basically sole ownership of it and did the advertising and the selling himself to other men, acting as me.
Yeah.
I no longer had to do anything. I was able to be home with my children. You know, all of that stay-at-home wife life. We were together all the time. Until recently, I found a link on his history just by grabbing his phone. My phone was in another room. I grabbed it and I went to search something. And typically, you know, I'm sure everyone knows if you search a porn site, it will automatically hide from your search history. But for some reason, this cam girl site did not. And he said that it was a moment of weakness when we were having an argument and that he decided to click it, but then he had a moment where he realized he didn't want to risk losing his relationship over it, so he didn't open it. Well, little did he know that it actually syncs to a spare phone that we had for work purposes. And I found days and days of him being active on these websites while I was sleeping. And I think that this kind of gives a little bit of a different perspective. I myself am 34 years old. I wouldn't consider myself a bad looking person. I took care of him in every way I could, especially monetary wise. Like, he didn't have to work. He never had to lift a finger. He was home playing video games, doing whatever he wanted, making profit off of me, as you said, because I've been watching you for the last hour, being used by other people and potentially damaging other people's marriage. And at this point, I feel like it's definitely my karma. So I'm in a position now where when I looked at all of these links, they were very underweight women. I've had this is going to sound crazy, but I've been an active surrogate for some time. I've had 13 children. I'm 200 pounds. Well, I'm actually 196 now because I haven't eaten in 4 days. But his search history was very underweight women, and I'm talking like 100 pounds. So yeah, this is kind of like a very different perspective on how this can affect your marriage. You are making very valid points, but for me, my husband had it made. He had a home, 3 children, a wife who absolutely was faithful to him. I've never lied to him. And the biggest thing was the lie. I didn't do that. I never opened it. I would never risk our marriage. And I only got through a month. I'm 5 weeks postpartum from having a baby for another couple. And I'm at my most vulnerable. I'm a heavier weight than I've ever been. And I no longer feel valued as a person. I feel like I need to be a certain weight for him to even look at me. And I want to add, definitely erectile dysfunction, 100%. And I always thought it was me. I stopped initiating sex to spare his embarrassment because I thought it was maybe his weight, maybe some health issues. And it got to the point where I pushed him to go and get checked. And lo and behold, he had testosterone so low that it was like comparable to a woman. I don't know how someone can convince somebody that it's a health problem, but then you later find out. And he said, I don't know if you can maybe answer this for me, but he said that when he watches it, he doesn't self-pleasure himself, which I don't see how that's possible personally. And another thing
a lot of people do that.
Okay, he said it was just something to do. I feel very betrayed. Like it's not. I don't even know if betrayed is the right word. I don't even know how to feel at this point. I always said when I went to bed that I felt like he was up all night because there's been history of me finding it. And because of what we do for a living, it's easy to hide. It's, somebody sent me a link and asked if I could replicate, if I could replicate that. So yeah, I think that my situation is very unique. Like I make porn
the
with
circumstances are different, but all the underlying stuff is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry you're in that situation. You've been commenting on my videos just in the last couple of days, right?
Yep. Because I feel like anyone listening, like I actually had a conversation about porn and I said, you know what, like if it's something you want to do, maybe communicate it with me and I will, I'll consider it or never really, I have always had a problem, to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest here. I've always had a problem with it. Again, I don't have a perfect body. Apparently hundreds of thousands of men like it, but I only wanted his attention. That was it. I wanted him to want me and to find out that he didn't. But his wasn't just Pornhub or anything like that. It was, like the good old cam girls that will communicate back to you. And so I think that that's a little bit more intimate and hurts me even more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. I'm sorry you're in that situation. You said 5 weeks postpartum.
Yeah.
And did you just find this stuff out, like this new level of what he's been doing in the last few days?
On Friday.
On Friday. Okay. I want to be sensitive to where you're at, right? What are you wanting from me or what are you wanting here? Are you just wanting to kind of share, get stuff out there? Do you have specific questions? I mean, I have a ton of thoughts, but
I definitely want to hear what is your perspective on it. I also wanted to share to anyone listening who thinks it's not cheating. It ruined me as a person. Like I said, I am already down 5 pounds since Friday. I can't bring myself to eat. You don't realize how it damages somebody who thought that you gave that person the best life that you could, and you thought that you pleasured them. Like, sure, I'm 5 weeks, but if he came to me and was like, hey, I would 100% do whatever it took to make him satisfied because, I get it. But I really feel like a lot of people maybe needed to hear that side of things that, it's destroyed me. I can't even do I don't even think that I'll ever be able to. I feel bad. I'm sorry for every woman out there whose husband has ever watched me or anything like that. Like, I'm truly sorry, because I feel now what you are feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's my question is when, or really it's what are your beliefs about sex, about your, oh, hold on. TikTok saying my live's going to end due to inactivity. What are your beliefs about sex, sexuality, your body? I mean, you may have heard me use the term, do you believe your body is a marketplace? Do you believe a woman's body is a marketplace for other people?
I don't, but I've been marketing my body, I guess, from the very beginning. And it's not that I enjoy it. It's because it really gave us that dream life. It gave him the opportunity to be home and parent his children and be there for everything. Financially, I've always given it my all. And did I want to do it? Absolutely not. No, not at all. But it was a way of making a good income and giving us everything we wanted. It's just now I'm paying for it. It's kind of like my karma. Do you think that this is something that can be changed?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Do I? Oh, 100%. There's always hope. There's always hope. I mean, you're at ground zero right now in your life, in your relationship. You got a baby. You have this relationship, and there's been deceit there. You're coming to terms with, okay, I was engaging in a behavior for 3 years in a profession for 3 years at least, and you actually didn't want that. So the question to look at there is, why did I do that? Why did I think that was the best possible option? Essentially selling a part of you for money.
Yeah.
So something happened early on to where that belief was able to be formed and then actually executed on to where you guys did that. So can it be rewired? 100% it can. Right?
Did it excuse his behavior? Did he does he missing something at home, or like, am I doing something wrong?
You're never responsible for his or anybody else's behavior, is my assertion. Right? And again, if you objectify people in private, you're going to do it everywhere. How we do one thing is how we do everything. So again, I'll say this, I'm going to say this way simpler than you might want to hear right now, but are you surprised he's doing that? He literally, as a profession, you guys were engaging in selling bodies.
Yeah.
Right? So like
You're
that's a core belief, right? We believe that it's okay to participate in the marketplace of buying and selling sex.
Yeah.
So it sucks. I'm sorry that you found that out. And again, if you just take a step back, it's like, well, should I really be surprised at this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, well, what do you do? Right? What do you want this marriage to be? Is there something to salvage here?
Right.
Now you're 4 days into this, so like this is going to take a while to figure out, right? Are you guys still making money with your content, or did you shut that down?
Oh, it's been shut down because like I said, he was the one who sold it. I made it whenever it was needed to be made, and he's the one that sold it. And as far as I know, he's stopped profiting on it. I will never know, again, because our marriage has been based off of lies. If he can tell one like that, I'm not really shocked to find others. But right now, yeah, absolutely, it's destroyed my self-image. Like I said, I only wanted his attention. I only wanted it to be.
Yeah. So here's a question. You've always only wanted his attention. When did you start doing things to desperately try to get his attention? And I'm think way back before 3 years ago.
I've always tried to. I've always been. I don't know. Like I guess I don't understand the question. Like I said, I've been with him since I was 16 years old. He was 25 at the time. I have been with him ever since. And, you do some crazy things when you're married. You try to do things like, you're not necessarily to spice things up, but we realized that this was a potential to get us, like I said, on our feet, from being broke as can be. And like I said, you're right. I don't know why I'm surprised, to be honest, because he's watching other girls do exactly what I do.
Just to be clear for the comments, that she's 34 years old. Okay.
Yeah, I am 34. Yeah.
Yeah. How old is your partner?
He's 43.
Oh, so you were 16 and he was
25, 24.
Oh, I'm sorry, comments. You're right. Okay. How did that happen?
I don't know. Bad life, no dad. I don't know, no guidance in life to tell me what's right and wrong, and he swept me off my feet, and kind of like the rest is history. And we have 3 kids, and I've never really thought I've never really thought too much about it. Of course, my oldest is 14, so now my head is like, wait, but yeah, like I said, 100% devoted to one single man. And yeah, I don't know. I guess what I was trying to do here is say that you might think that you can make excuses for someone a million times, but we did this, we made it and created it, and now it's ruining my marriage because I found that he no longer was enjoying it with me. It was no longer a thing. It was now other women that interested him, especially ones that were small and thin and nowhere what I looked like. So yeah, that was it.
Well, I got it. And the thing is that this is way deeper than just him looking at porn. It would be my assertion, right? I mean, there's so much to unpack there with the age in which you guys got together, what your whole relationship was like, and then you trying to seek his approval constantly.
Yeah.
And then
I wanted to make him happy. I wanted to do everything I could to make him happy. I wanted him to the man doesn't have to work. I thought I gave him everything. Like, really, if you sit back, you could have the best life and have a home and your bills paid for and, all that, and sit and video game all day and be with your children, and you still want to jeopardize that. It's beyond me. And that just shows how deep that this can get into your brain and rewire you.
Yeah, but his path for doing that was not to go have a career and to work and to use his hands. It was to sell his wife's body on the internet for other people to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's exactly it.
Yeah. And so it's like, well, sure, he's got it made. He gets to sit at home, play video games. I would imagine you took care of the kids. He doesn't have to do anything. Right.
No,
but so I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to you, but he's running from something, presumably, like not actually taking responsibility as a man and saying, I'm going to protect and provide. My belief, I'm not asking anybody else to believe this, is that I don't think it's an act of protection to go sell your wife on the internet.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And he knew my struggles with it and how my daughters are going to find out, and how I'm not, I'm going to school this September to be a nurse. I've always wanted to change that. I want to show them that you can do something with your life that doesn't involve giving yourself away for other people's enjoyment just because it brings in some money. I wanted to teach them that, but he's never had any goals or ambitions or anything like that. So I was kind of always...
without a purpose or vision in life distracts himself with pleasure.
I think that you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah. Viktor Frankl. A man without a purpose or vision in life distracts himself with pleasure. So, look, thanks for sharing. You're in the thick of it. Where are you going to go from here?
I've lost zero respect for him as not only my best friend. I feel like every time he's ever told me in the past that he's loved me, I feel like that's a lie. I don't feel like if you love somebody that you can break them down to this level and watch them cry and just excuse your behavior over and over. And like you said, you're saying you can watch it and not pleasure yourself. Then maybe I've been wrong to think that,
I'm saying it's possible. I don't know what he's doing, but I talk to a lot of people who just watch porn and they don't masturbate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always trying to make excuses for him. That's what you do when your best friend has been with you for your entire life, basically. Yeah, it's tough. I I'm in a vulnerable state. Like I said, I'm 5 weeks postpartum with a surrogate baby. I feel disgusting. I'm, overweight. I'm trying to lose that baby weight. I feel like I have an immense pressure on me now that I was never, it is what it is. That's all I have to say is this is a totally different.
Are you guys financially in an okay spot, even though you've stopped selling your content?
Well, I am.
Like you have money or you have income coming in?
I have money. There's no income anymore because that, like I said, that was our sole financial gain was my body. So no, yeah, we have some money. I have it put away because I don't know how to divide that. I feel like it is mine, and maybe I'm wrong for that, but I feel like it is mine. And where I go from here, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's a lot to unpack, right? Obviously, I'm not going to do that for you. That's not why you're here, and that's not my job either. But I would encourage you to find a place to continue working through this, right? You got like many facets of this. Presumably, there's childhood trauma to work through here. There's now relational trauma. There's the infidelity. There's your own belief about yourself, and how do you rebuild how you view yourself? You're also caring for a baby, so. I mean, my encouragement is find a place where you can work through this and figure out what your next path is. A book I'd recommend is called The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. It's a really good resource to start with, and therapy, counseling, coaching can help with that as well. If you do want to chat more, I'd be happy to chat. You can schedule a call using the link in my bio. But there's a lot for you to sort out here.
Yeah, it's a mess, and like I said, you don't realize. You think everything's going well and smooth, and you're like, okay, I can suffer through this. I can do nasty, dirty things that are against my, something that my beliefs are and against something I want to do because it provides. Well, it doesn't, always benefit you in the end, and your whole life can come crashing down in a second, even when you think that you're in a healthy relationship. I mean, it's never been healthy per se, but we work through stuff. Every marriage has got its stuff. And I always told myself, every marriage has its thing. And this just so happened to be that one thing that really broke it off.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. I hope that, a lot of people out there are listening or realizing that there is always two sides. And you might be like, oh, it's innocent. I'm just looking at other people. I'm not, but it is. You're right. You're using them and you're hurting the people around you extremely. No woman wants to see you looking at somebody that looks nothing like them. We're always going to be comparing ourselves to the next girl. And my body looks nothing like the girls that he was looking at. And that will forever be instilled in my brain. And my daughter sees that, my 14-year-old, and nowhere is there any positive for her, as a young woman. So, yeah. Thank you.
Well, thanks for sharing. There's always hope. There's always hope, people. You first got to get in the game, figure out what it is you're dealing with, and then you can move forward into something new. ChoosingNew.com. Choosing new. Choose a new path. That's actually my website, choosingnew.com. All right, let's see. Who's next? Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me already, if you like my content. If you don't like my content, follow me anyways. Maybe you can come back and argue with me sometime. I'm here for that. Or if you want to share your story, whether you're a man or a woman, you want to share about your struggles with unwanted sexual behavior, such as pornography or sex issues. Or if you're a woman who's been betrayed, I'd love to chat. I'm trying to bring a guy on here, but these names, they move all around. Soon all men will have ED. Well, maybe. Levi, you there? You there? All right. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey,
What's up?
I just had some
Are you 18
opinions.
or over?
Yeah, 19.
Okay. All right, what's up?
Um, the videos, there's like specific ones that are just like one person. That is cheating, in my opinion. Like, if you're just looking at the person and their body and like just imagining like that person with you, that's not okay. But if you're just watching the act, like that other lady was saying, it's different. It's not sorry.
So your assertion is that if you're watching one person doing like solo sex on a screen, that's fine. But if you're watching two people on a screen have sex with one another, that would then be cheating for you?
Wait, one person would be cheating, but two people like just doing an act would not.
One person would be, but two people wouldn't be?
Yes, because if you're just watching the one person, you're like having fantasies about that person, you know?
But you're not if you're watching two people?
Not me personally.
Okay. What about three people?
I mean, that doesn't really make a difference.
What about 9 people?
Still doesn't make a difference. There's
75 people.
the difference between multiple and one solo person is the fantasies and the thoughts that you get.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. All right. Iris, you there? Iris, you there? By the way, if you're interested in resources, I recommend the book Unwanted by Jay Stringer, How Sexual Brokenness Reveals Our Path to Healing. I'd recommend anybody starting there, but particularly men looking to unwind their sexual story. And for women, I recommend the book The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. Great book. Talking about betrayal. Dude, there's 100 people waiting, and I'm trying to bring on a guy. Hey there, what's going on? And your connection's bad. I'm nervous to talk in front of so many people. If you want to chat not in front of 1,000 people, you can go to the link in my bio and schedule a 30-minute discovery call. It's $1. We'll talk about your situation and any perspective I might be able to offer you during the call. Tell you about my groups as well as what I offer. Chad 55, nope. The whitewashed Mexican. Hello. You there? Hello. Hola? Hola. Hola? No. Okay. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. So it's crazy. I'm a guy, obviously, and it's wild reading through the comments and seeing how many guys are saying that it's not and how many girls are saying that it is. And I feel like it's kind of telling because I've been in a relationship for just about 2 years now, and it's not something we've ever talked about. And I feel like that's because it's baseline considered cheating. I mean, I think the idea that you're watching someone else, like, engaging in sexual activity is on its own cheating. I don't think it's, I mean, I feel like it's something couples should discuss because obviously there's different people out there who enjoy different things and whatnot, but it just seems kind of ridiculous that you could be watching someone else engaging in sexual activity and getting pleasure from it and then consider that not cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in your opinion, it should be a given that when people are watching other people have sex on a screen outside of their relationship, that's cheating.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I feel like if there's further discussions in the couple that happen and remove that boundary, that's perfectly fine if that's what they want to do. But I feel like baseline before any discussion, it should be considered cheating just because of the situation that it is,
Yeah, got it. Okay. Do you watch porn?
I used to before I was in my relationship,
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, ever since being in my relationship, I've had absolutely no desire to because I believe my girlfriend is the most seen in my life, and I would never want to disrespect her and do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool, man. I love that. How long have you guys been dating?
A year and 11 months. Our 2 years actually on Christmas Eve.
Oh, cool. What are you going to do?
We'll see. I mean, the last year or a year and 11 months ago, I asked her to be my girlfriend, so it might be kind of hard to top that, but I'll figure something out.
Nice. Love that. How old are you, man?
21. I just turned 21 in October.
21. Okay. And you haven't watched porn for about 2 years now, roughly?
A year and 11 months. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing, people. Are there guys out there who don't watch porn? There are. There absolutely are. Luke is one of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, man.
I didn't want to come on here and get on my high horse, and try and act like this one good guy left that's out there. I'm just saying, I feel like if guys want to be in healthy, stable relationships, they need to realize that doing something like this probably isn't going to end well for their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy when we're masturbating to dozens or hundreds or thousands of other people online. It's just weird. Why does that cause issues in relationships? Huh. Well, maybe it's not as complicated as we want it to be.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's just because you're watching other people have sex instead of having sex in your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Anyway,
man.
well,
Well, thanks for
you
sharing.
can let me go. All right. Well, sweet. Thank you for letting me on.
See you, man. Bye. All right. User. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey,
What's up?
just speaking from my own experience, I've watched your videos for a little while, and my husband and I, we haven't had sex in like over a month or longer, and it's been a thing in our marriage for a while where I found out on my own that he was using porn. And, for a long time, I was wondering what was wrong. Why isn't there a connection? I didn't know that he was watching.
Hey, hold on one
when I
second.
found
Hey,
out,
JP Star
I
Music,
realized-
if you say that one more time, I'm going to ban you. If you want to come on here and chat, I'm happy to have a conversation with you, okay? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I just realized that it feels like it's like a replacement for me. Instead of like there's no connection with us, instead there's only a connection with him and his phone,
Yeah,
Like it's cheating when it's a replacement.
yeah. How long have you guys been married?
6 years now.
Okay. And I'm sorry you're in that situation. It must be, I imagine it's painful.
Yeah.
You said you guys haven't been intimate in about a month. There's a creator I follow. Her name is Dr. Trish Lee. She does similar content to me. She had a quote. she recanted a session with a couple where they came in the room and said, "We haven't had sex in 12 years. We need help." And she said, "This conversation is about 11 years, 360 days too late."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I just want to offer to you one. I mean, again, I know you didn't. I'm not a therapist, but it's good to have this conversation. Is my point. Bring it to the light. Do
Right.
something with it. Sex isn't the issue.
Right.
It's a symptom of other problems going on in your relationship. Would be my assertion.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there pornography involved, to your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me more about that?
Like
Like, is
that
he using it? How
he
often? Is it a secret? Is he doing anything about that? Does he think it's a problem? How mad are
he
you
does
about
not
it?
think it's a problem. Like he doesn't think it's a problem. I've brought it up to him before in the past because I was like, I feel like it's something that, you know, it's clearly when you choose, like maybe you're watching it more and then all of a sudden you're not interested in me. And he just, you know, he said that he doesn't think it's a problem. And I was like, well, okay, I'm not sure where to go from that then. If, you know, if you don't think it's a problem, but I do, and it's maybe just a, you know, difference in what we each believe, you know, like
Okay,
the
what do
standards
you
in a
believe,
relationship.
and what does he believe?
Well, he doesn't believe it's a problem. He doesn't believe that it affects our relationship at all. And, but I see that I've experienced that it's to me it feels like it's being used as like a replacement for like instead of connecting with me, it's like now it's, you know, there's no connection, there's just a big wall up, and then that's what he's wanting to do instead.
Mm-hmm. All right, so he doesn't believe that masturbating while watching strangers have sex is taking anything away from the intimate connection that he has with his wife. That's his belief.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Is he there? I'd love to talk to him.
He's not. No.
Dang
I was
it.
actually
They're never there.
I'm planning on trying to have a conversation with him about it tonight. I was like, what I was thinking, and I just randomly came across your page.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, I'm just like gently, you know, just talk about it and be like, again, I just want to kind of hear what, you know, your thoughts are on it. Because for me, it seems like it's affecting us.
Yeah. Yeah. And so your belief is what?
My belief is that I don't think it should be a part of a relationship. Like if you're in a relationship, I don't think anyone should watch it. Granted, I have watched it myself, and there's been times where I've seen it affect myself. And that's another reason why I believe it really does have an effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it kind of poisons the intimate relationship between two people, because now you have all these other ideas and people in your head instead of just the person that you chose to be with.
Yeah. So your belief is that when other people are introduced to your relationship, and in one way it's by him with people in pornography, that it takes something from the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have different beliefs there, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what do you do with that? You can't change him.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we'd like to be able to change other people, we can't do that.
Right.
So the question is, what do you do with that? I'm not asking you to answer that right now, though you can. But, you know, there seems to be a pretty big mismatch there. And if that goes unchecked, meaning if you resign yourself just to living with that, okay, well, you can stay married and just resign that part of you, but you're not going to feel settled. I'm not saying you need to leave either. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah. Right.
However, I think you just talking about it, being in a place where you guys can talk about what your real beliefs are, is helpful. Some might
Yeah.
call that counseling,
Yeah, absolutely. And
right?
we have talked about that we do need that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, my wife and I also talked about getting counseling for years when I was
yeah.
secretly watching porn and cheating on her. We always knew there was
Mhm.
something not working in our relationship. And we had a lot of talks about getting help, and we never did,
Right.
which is a huge, I guess it's a regret. I don't know, whatever. Here we are. We're still married. But talking about counseling is great. But actually pursuing counseling, I think
Absolutely.
usually can help yield a different result.
Definitely.
And if both parties aren't willing, you can still go get counseling and then make
Yes.
empowered decisions on what you're wanting to do,
Yes.
right? You can lead a horse to water,
Agreed.
but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
So where are you at with this? And again, I'm sorry you're going through this. It's
Oh,
devastating.
I absolutely agree. And I've been on this journey recently of, just the realization to like I can share what I feel, I can communicate, but what it all comes down to is how I take care of myself. And that's kind of the journey that I'm on right now. Just making steps of taking care of myself and, protecting my own morals. And if that's what I believe, and if he wants to follow in that path, he can. And if he doesn't want to, that's completely his choice.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. So how does that feel to like put that out there?
I mean, it definitely hurts,
Yeah.
but it's been 6 years, so
Yeah. Yeah. And I see that it hurts and it's empowering, right?
yeah,
Because the way that
it
you even
is.
phrase that is beautiful. It's like, hey, I'm going to try, but if it's not going in the direction that I'm wanting, I got to make different empowered decisions, as hard as that
Exactly.
may be.
Yeah,
But
and
like the
it's
hardest
hard.
spot to be is in the middle, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, either direction,
Yeah.
right?
And that's where I don't necessarily have one yet, but I'm like, in the beginning stages of just seeing what it is and be like, okay, it's up to me. And, I just have to invest in my own work. And then through that, I will find the resources and strength to, go down my next path for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear that in your voice, just how scary that is. Am I hearing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How many kids do you guys have?
What?
How many kids do you guys have?
We have 2, so that makes it harder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But
look, there's hope for you. I don't know where this path ends for you, but there's hope for a different future. And
yeah, absolutely.
you're just trying to figure out what you're dealing with here and what he's willing to do or not do. And it's going to be hard. Whichever way you go here is hard. You stay and work through it, it's hard. Trust me, I know. I've been
Yeah.
there. If you choose to move on and something else, that's hard too, right?
Yeah.
And so at some point you got to find that, where's your voice in this, and to reject the gaslighting that's being put forth by him as well as culture and society, and saying, no, this is not okay. I won't
Right.
stand for this.
Exactly. And that's where, it comes down to a lot of women, we don't like find worth in ourselves. And I've, realized that for my own self, I don't have that. I used to, but it's just for a lot of women, we just have to believe in ourselves and love ourselves. Like we are enough. The love that we have for ourselves is enough. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When did you lose that?
I'd say after I became a mom.
Mm.
Like a lot of women, you just kind of lose yourself in motherhood
Mm-hmm.
because it's just so, all of a sudden you're taking care of other children, like other beings, and then you forget to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, but I'm coming to, realizations. It's hard, but I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, there's a lot for you to unpack there, right? Just with your self-worth and your beliefs about yourself. And of course, when when a woman has a baby, that so much stuff changes, not only with your body, but the whole dynamics of the house and the relationship. And it's a hard season. It's a really hard season. My kids are 9, 7, and 3. I don't know when that season gets easier. I think it just gets different as the kids get older. I'm not a woman, obviously, but it's 2024. Maybe that wasn't obvious. But yeah, you got a lot of stuff to work through there, and finding that, when did you lose that? And maybe there's a part of that was lost even before having kids.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And unpacking and discovering, how do you move on from here and what do you move into? So,
Exactly.
well, I've got a bunch of resources on my link in my bio. One of them is the book, The Betrayal Bind, by Michelle
you.
Mays. I also have groups for women going through betrayal and men going through unwanted sexual behavior, both in groups as well as one-on-one. If you're interested in that, you can schedule a call with me. If not, no problem. For where you're at, I would just encourage you, don't be alone in this. Don't be isolated in this. You
I
gotta
appreciate it.
continue
Thank you.
working through it. Yeah. So,
I appreciate your page and
yeah.
all that you're doing. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Who's next? What time is it? 1:00. Okay. Give me a follow if you guys like my content. If you don't like my content, don't follow me. Can I get on here and scream? Sure. You want to scream? Yeah. I love that. Release some anger, discharge some trauma. Let me find your name. I don't know if you're serious or not, but unpopular opinion. I think I just shared it. I'm not a woman. Callie. Okay. This is so hard to... Oh, there we go. Did I get it? Yes. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, what's going on?
What do you want to scream about?
Well, I think it was like, what was it? Like 2 days ago. I like you get this feeling. So my boyfriend was in the shower and
Hold on. Are you 18 or over?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay.
So he was in the shower and I go to his text messages and I go to the deleted text messages and there's one deleted text message from like in a thread with this coworker he has, and I open it and it's like this link to this EDM music video. It's a naked woman basically. Oh my god. I'm just so fucking tired. I'm so
Let it
fucking
out.
tired.
Let it out. What do you want? What do you really want to say?
I don't get it. Like, why is it so fucking hard to control yourself? Like, you say you don't want to and you don't want to do it again, and it just keeps fucking happening, even if it's been months and months and months, and I just get this feeling and I look and I was fucking right. And I just don't understand why it has to be so fucking hard. Why can't we just be fucking happy?
What do you do with your anger?
I just try to breathe. I just try, like, I'm home alone right now. I just got back from Pilates. I just try to center it into like myself, not like take it out on myself, but I try to let it go. and just, you know, move on. But at this point, I don't want to deal with this again. Like, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep doing this.
Are you with that same partner still?
Yeah, I am. I am.
So anger is a right response to a violation of boundaries. Anger is a right response to a violation of boundaries. So there's nothing wrong with anger. It's telling you something. It's pointing you towards something. And that anger's got to come out. Now, anger turned towards rage or aggression or violence, that's a problem. That can be a problem, right? So, you know, again, I would just encourage you, like, be with that anger, see what it's pointing towards, and then how can you get that out there in a healthy, resourceful way, or else it'll just consume you, right?
Yeah.
So you're still with him.
Yeah, you know, and the fucked up thing is I was watching your live like maybe a month and a half ago, almost 2 months, and he was next to me. He was like, I agree. It's like, okay, well, you agree, you just have no self-control. And I tell him, I'm like, maybe you should just be with somebody who doesn't care, because I'm gonna care.
Okay, so he agrees, and he said he has no self-control.
He just says, you know, like, in those, like, you can have it for like 30 days, and on the 31st day you don't have it. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not consistent.
Well, okay, what does he want to be different?
He doesn't want to, you know, do those things anymore, or so he says. But it's like, okay, well, if you wanted to really, really bad, you wouldn't. And like, nobody's perfect, but it's like, still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So he claims he doesn't want it. He's tried on his own. He's experienced 30 days or so of success, and it's not working. All right, no problem. Let's use that as feedback. So now what? It's not working on your own. So now what do you do?
I mean, I can't control him. Like, I just don't want.
I know. Like, if I'm talking to you, it's try something different, right? Try something different. But again,
Like
you're
what?
right. I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you, right? My
Yeah,
question
yeah.
for you is, why are you putting up with that?
I don't know.
Yeah. What's coming up for you right now?
I feel so stupid. I just I've just known him for so long. I'm trying to let go of this, you know, this hopeful image of I don't know, just him, I guess. I don't know. I thought he was different.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't make you stupid. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's just a feeling. I just feel like I'm battling myself, because I want him to be happy. Like, I don't want to fight about these things. Like, if he wants to be, if he doesn't, you know, it doesn't have to be this hard for him. It doesn't have to be this hard for me. Maybe, like I said, we both should be with people who have that, like our values in line. You know, like, I tell him, like, you don't have to do this. Be with somebody who doesn't care. I am not that somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, so he seemingly is okay with it, and you're not, and you're still with him, right? And there's something, you know, I have this saying, a lot of men are addicted to watching porn. A lot of women are addicted to the idea of what this relationship could be like if only he was different.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't make it any easier to make a decision here. But again, the question is, you know, taking an honest look at what benefit you're getting by participating in this dance, because you are getting one. This whole, like, I have hope, he does good for a period of time and then he messes up and then I'm devastated and then he says all these things. I believe him and it happens again. Is that familiar?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just comfortable. And I do love him, you know, like.
I don't know what the answer is for you. I don't know if leaving or staying is right for you, but if you were to leave him, what are you afraid of?
I guess just not getting what I wanted, I guess.
And what did you want?
Guess I just wanted to be happy with this guy. I've known him since I was like 11, and we weren't, you know, we didn't date. Like, we're not high school sweethearts or anything, and nothing like that. But we found each other again. And I don't know. I guess I just thought it would be different.
Yeah. Yeah. How long have you guys been dating?
It's about 2 years.
Okay.
Just about 2 years.
Yeah, that's a long time of being connected to him.
Yeah, and I know I'd be fine on my own. I have a good support system and stuff. I question myself, like, is it really something that has to, like, blow up the whole relationship? You know? I, like, always second guess myself about whether or not it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question for you to get a real clear answer on. Right? Is this a big enough deal to do something about? Is it a big enough deal that my partner is hiding in the shower or watching porn wherever he is, or differently put, taking his eyes off me and putting them on another woman and getting sexual pleasure from it? Is that a big deal for me in my relationship? And if you get crystal clear on what your answer is to that, that will allow you to make an informed decision, or at least get closer to it. And or make a request of him. Okay, here's what I've come to. Here's what I'm really clear on. Here's what I'm wanting to do differently in order to continue this relationship. But if you got this tug, if you're trying to figure out what your real belief is about this, I mean, you got to get clear on that.
I mean, yeah, I don't want that. Like, I don't want that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds horrible when you put it like that. I mean, it's the truth. Like, I think last live, there was somebody on here saying that it's basically like, okay, you might not be participating, you're emotionally invested, but put your boyfriend in a room, like, behind a glass window watching two people have sex. Like, would you want your boyfriend doing that? Would you want your boyfriend in a room with two strangers watching them have sex? Like, is that not cheating to you? And it's like, of course. I mean, why would you want that? That's not okay. And just because it's behind a computer screen or a phone or something and you don't know them doesn't make it any different.
Yeah. Yeah, so for you, that answer is obvious, right? The question is, why are you continuing to stay there, right? And it comes down to you're attached to him, right? But there's an attachment there that it feels like it would be impossible to leave.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before, and I remember getting out of a 5+ year relationship, feeling like, okay, like if I got into another relationship, I could do it again pretty easy. But I'm back to the same feeling where it's like I have to convince myself that this is like, sunk cost or whatever.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
gotta-
you're way too young for that. You got a lot of light. Izza Wiz, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for the gifts. Yeah, look, you're 25 years old. You are way too young to feel like, well, no, I just got to. I mean, I even saw a few people in the comments since you've been talking, like, hey, it's been 32 years or 26 years. I mean, you making decisions now, taking agency and stepping into your true power at this age is going to serve you really well for your life. And again, I am not saying you need to leave. What I am saying is try doing something different, bold, courageous, that's going to help move your life in the direction that you're wanting it to go. Because and this goes for everybody, men or women, if we're just doing what we think we need to do to keep other people happy, that's a pretty lonely existence. Right? I do that. We all do it to an extent. But when we take our power, when we take our agency back, a rising tide raises all ships. When I'm acting in love to make my wife better or my kids better, not to make them better, but to make our relationship better, we all do better. And vice versa. And it's risky to do that. Right? It's risky to go say, hey, I want more for us for the sake of love. And when we do that, it doesn't always end up with our desired outcome or what we think was our desired outcome. So the lesson there is like, will you step into new courageous decisions for yourself?
Yeah. Like for example, a courageous decision not leaving would be like, what do you think?
Well, my question would be, are you willing to continue in the relationship with nothing else changing?
No.
Okay. I think it could be, hey, I'm willing to be here. I'm willing to work this out. But from what I know about how pornography addiction works, I'm requesting that you get some help or that we get some help. Because are you wanting to get married at some point, whether it's to him or somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're heading towards a vision of marriage, and let's just say pornography doesn't help marriages, we should want to work on this, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, could you ask him, hey, can we get some help with this? Will you get some help with this? That could be a courageous decision, and you're still in the relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
think
I
about what
think-
you're really wanting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and to everybody in the comments, thank you, and I'm hearing what you're saying. Yeah, I know, it's kind of like it's just like a battle with myself. I think I do need to spend some more time with myself and just figure out, what the next steps are going to be for me, because none of us deserve it. It's not normal. This is not normal. This is like a new like widespread thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Hold on a second. Izza Wiz, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hey, did you do the thing today? Did you make it? Hey there. What's going on? Us conservative mamas. What's up?
I see both sides. Depends on the relationship dynamic. If one of the other is not cool with it, then I think it is cheating. But then again, if you guys are both cool with it, whatever. do your thing. Like with me and my husband, we watch it together and separately. And I'm a cam girl and I do OF. Whenever I do it, I'm just selling a fantasy. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to hook up with anybody's mans or anything or their girlfriends because I mean, girls like watching too.
Okay.
But
Are you guys in a monogamous relationship or not?
no, we're swingers.
You're sure. Okay.
In and out.
So there's
We're
no
also in-
expectation of monogamy for you guys.
Just depends. If each of us feel uncomfortable or want to step back, that's okay.
Okay, so there's
It's
not
not something that we need.
so then there's not an expectation of monogamy?
No, there was an expectation of just like me and him. Like if we either or feel uncomfortable or whatnot, we can always step back out of the dynamic.
So there's not an expectation of monogamy?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, I guess anything goes then.
And again, I mean, it just depends on everybody's relationship dynamic.
And yours is that it doesn't matter, right? It's you're going to expose yourself online. You're going to be a cam girl. You're going to do OF. You're going to go sleep with somebody else. He's going to go sleep with somebody else, and that's all within the confines of what's acceptable in your
we always
relationship.
play together. We don't play separately. And that's just us. Because we like to watch and be watched.
Okay.
I know
And
it's a
that's
little
what
side
you
track,
that's
but-
what your relationship is governed by.
Not solely. Like I said, if either or want to step back out of the dynamic or whatever, the swinger dynamic, both of us do.
Okay.
It's
So
something
you
that we
you
don't
ebb and
do.
flow. It can be one day we're polyamorous, one day we're monogamous.
No, there's a difference between polyamory and swingers.
What's the difference?
The polyamory is you actually have relationships with multiple people. Swingers are you just have funsies. There's no there's like no emotions on it.
Is it a sexual relationship?
It's just sexual. There's no relationship or feelings involved in
So
swingers.
it's a sexual relationship.
I mean, if that's what you say, that's fine.
Okay. Funsies. All right. What does
I
your
just
name
think
mean? Conservative mama? What does that mean?
I'm conservative. I mean, I lean on both sides. I have my morals. Everybody else has their own morals too. What does my username have to do with anything?
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. What does it have to do with it? All right. Like, what does that mean that you're conservative mama?
Well, I'm a mom and I'm Republican, so I mean, I'm leaning more on the right.
Okay.
I do have children.
You have what?
I just seen a comment.
Oh. So what does it mean to be conservative?
And again, it just depends on the person. I am conservative out in public. I don't show a lot of like skin, but whenever we go to these parties, I'm still more so dressed, but we like to have fun.
Okay.
I'm always open in what we do.
Got it. Unless you decide you're not.
Unless we want to step back, that's okay.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Bye-bye. What's up, Angela? All right. Fascinating day. I'm liking this midday live thing. I'm going to make this a thing. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to get off. Thanks for sharing, everybody. If you like my content, give me a follow. If you don't like my content, give me a follow anyways. And maybe we can come back sometime and argue with the people in my comments. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction or other unwanted sexual behavior, as well as women dealing with betrayal trauma, the trauma that ensues when a betrayal is discovered. You can go to link in my bio and schedule a discovery call with me. It's $1 for a 30-minute perspective. Or I'm sorry, a 30-minute conversation. And I'd love to chat. Until next time, make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. The choice is always yours. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.